gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowlsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all
The
states.
views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Well, thank you, TJ. Welcome to Democratic Hour, the day after Christmas. Guys, Doc, Rich, TJ, everything went well for Christmas?
It did.
It did?
Yes, it
no
did.
Family Feud? The kids got what they wanted?
No Family Feud. Santa did a good job this year.
Did you get coal in your stocking?
I did not. Surprisingly.
Surprisingly. And welcome to Democratic Hour of WMBS 590 AM, 101.1 FM. Our telephone number is 724-438-4593. TJ, of course I wasn't here, and I'm going to explain why I wasn't here last week, but we're going to do a Christmas song, or are we going back to Justin? Maybe we're not going to do either.
You can tell us why you weren't here, and we'll give you our version of why you weren't here, too. Okay?
Well, we want to hear that version. I'm in a Christmas mood again. I know where he's going to be Sunday.
Oh, we got news for you on that one.
Oh, yeah, he's going to Cleveland.
You wait to what TJ and I have.
Go ahead.
He's arranged for us.
Go ahead. You break the news to him, Rich.
Well, I may leave again.
Well, who do these Steelers play this week?
That's what I said. Cleveland. He's going to be in Cleveland.
And TJ, where else did we get an invite to?
We're going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, I could see them, Doc.
Yeah.
Maybe they should take a boat on Lake Erie while they're there. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, and then he's giving us a skybox at the Cleveland, we're going to be nice and warm.
Well, guys, I got to go. I got an emergency call. And again, welcome.
And then he's coming over to TJ's place for New Year's Eve dinner.
Yep.
I know one thing. New Year's is coming. New Year's resolution. We shall not tell a lie on WMBS.
Well, we're not allowed to curse, so.
That's true. Well, I don't know where we're going with this show, but well, let me explain last week.
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, I had to take a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine. She ended up in Allegheny General Hospital. So for those, when we talk about the Affordable Health Care Act, while I was sitting there, and she's on the road to recovery, she's fine. But, sitting there, Doc, and you appreciate you being a physician your whole career, you're looking, I'm in an emergency room, and you see young, middle-aged, elderly people coming in, waiting to see somebody in the emergency room. And I'm thinking some of these people on Medicare, maybe they don't have insurance. And I'm thinking maybe the only way they get to see a doctor is actually going to the emergency room. And, of course, I had my iPad and I listened to the show, and I want to thank Rich and Doc and Joe for coming in, replacing me. But if we finally got her in the room, the surprising thing about Allegheny General, they had 45 beds in the emergency room before you actually put somebody in a room, because she had the last bed was 45. Now think about that. That's just one hospital in Pittsburgh that you had 45 beds just being treated in the emergency room before you were even put in a room. So everything went well, and that's where I was. But I thought about, this Affordable Health Care Act, the rising cost of health insurance next year, and thank the good Lord that I, over the years have used Medicare and the VA. So that's where I was last Friday.
So at this recent date, the number of hours that you were there and so forth, you're seeing that there were 45 beds.
45 beds, and they were full.
And what's going to happen in the coming days is the people that lost all their coverage, the 12 to 22 million people they have no option other than to consider that in place of their regular doctor to go for whatever problem they have, minor or major. And it has a limit to how much the system can be overwhelmed in that direction.
You bring up an excellent point. That's what I thought of.
And they're saying if you don't like you to not go if you have the cold or something treatable by phone, but if you do go, you have to be prepared for a 3-hour wait.
Or at least minute.
Do you think when Congress comes back in January, they're going to bring out the vote right away?
Yeah, kick the can, like as usual, and
Down the
back
road.
and forth.
Take it
Yes.
from South Mount Vernon to Route 40. That's about what they'll do. So the other thing I want to bring up, I want to thank Timmy Mahoney and his family and everybody that helped in Timmy's annual feed.
We had a good time.
We did. So he fed over 400 people yesterday, and they were either pickups or deliveries. And Rich and I know I'm not too good on his GPS, so we did get lost in Fayette County delivering food. No, we didn't. We had some fun.
We didn't get lost. Nobody could just the address doesn't show up on GPS.
You think about all these years that Timmy and the people have been doing it, and you figure he got other things to do. He has grandkids, and the kids were there, so it's a tradition he's been passing on. But to feed over 400 people, my hat's off to Timmy Mahoney, his family, and everybody else is involved in
and
that.
it was nice for all the volunteers. I mean, it was like a food line. Everybody's setting up.
Yeah, and everybody did what they had to do, and Rich and I were out dropping off food to residents, and our last call was in Masontown. So that's what we did yesterday on Christmas Day. Also, I want to thank husband and wife. I ran into them this week. And somehow we got a conversation where, you know me, when I'm out and about, where you from? And they were from Greene County. And I said, I was just there last week. And they asked me why. And I said, I was there supporting the data center, possibility of the old Rabina mine site. And they said they live not too far from the site. And I said, what is your take on the whole data center? And they said they were 100% behind the data center. Now,
There's a lot of people opposed to it right now.
Yes, and they had a meeting in Greene County, and I thanked them for. And of course, they asked me what I did for a living. And I told them I was a plumber to pipe fitter, retired. The data center, by all information, if it does go, it's just in phase 1 now. It'll be built with the best tradesmen. It'll be built 100% union. And like I said, its current site is the old Rabina mine site right off of Route 88 going south towards Greensboro. So I want to thank those two individuals for letting me vent my frustration out and why they were supporting the data center. Guys, it's hard to believe 2025 is coming to an end. I know that we're going to do the review.
Your review.
So, Doc, I know you have something in front of you. Rich and I know we could start at top local news stories, the top statewide news stories, top national news stories, and local newsmaker of 2025. Well, Rich, we're going to start out with you.
Let's go top local news.
Top local
Top
news.
of the list.
Top of the list.
All right, you go ahead. You pick.
I mean, this is my list,
Yes.
and I know you
It
guys
could be
have.
sports. It could be anything
Yeah.
related to happen here in Fayette County.
And I'll go one at a time.
All right.
My top one was Penn State Fayette scheduled to close.
Okay.
Uniontown and Laurel Highland schools to consolidate.
They were the consolidating division, not they're consolidating Laurel Highlands and Uniontown.
They
but
have to
individual
close some schools
Yes.
because of costs.
Okay.
Uniontown Police Department in chaos because the chief resigned and they're low on they don't have enough officers, so the state police are filling in from 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. And then this is one of my favorites because I'm a baseball fan. The pressure on Nutting to sell the Pirates. I mean, I went to several games this summer, and people out there just like sell the team, sell the team.
Well, he's been making some moves here in this winter.
Yeah, well,
He's been doing more than what he has in the past.
yeah, well,
Talk and no action. Maybe he's doing talk and action this time.
Absolutely.
All right. What
And
else
then the
you got?
last was the Democratic rallies in Uniontown and Connersville by the Fayette County Democratic women.
Yeah, and they've been out, and again with Tracy Wilson and the girls been out, and they've been out here faithfully all through 2025.
Yeah.
informing the public what's going on just here, not in Fayette County and Pennsylvania, throughout the country.
Yeah, and that No Kings rally started a lot of it.
And that was, go ahead, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on the top of your list because of the monumental importance that the Penn State Board of Trustees considered closing down, not supplying the team and running it as a off main campus site out at Penn State, right? So critically, in the first attention, when the rumbles came up, Vince Pacides brought it up at the commissioners' meeting about a team to look into options and so forth, and any way we could compensate for that tremendous loss. And in a compliment to them, they did move to that. There was a nice 1/3 of a page write-up drafted by Scott Dunn, chairman of the commissioners, and they did that. They formed the Board of Trustees where they hope will authorize and recognize the county created the Fayette County Educational Authority. They have that, and they don't like the meetings are scheduled, but hopefully the team that they put together will be able to report to us maybe once a month to see what options are being considered.
Yeah. Well, the only other option they have, they claim that it's going to close in 2027. So
that's the Board of Trustees says we have some warning sometime, but it's still urgent. Yeah. And they didn't ask for the number, but Scott Dunn was kind enough as the chairman to give his email and contact his little letters sdunn, SDUNN at FayettePA.org. So and it's going to mean a lot of intense work and energy to see what all options are available.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they come up with something that's going to be viable and really help the community in Fayette County.
Well, we're going to see where that happens in 2026. And for me here, statewide, I had down in different riches, I had number one was Supreme Court races. There was a tremendous amount of money put out.
They were retained. The Supreme Court judges were retained.
Yeah. So every retention judge that was on the ballot won. Also, every judge that ran as a Democrat on the ballot won. So it was a good race. And
that was amazing because, well, not amazing. It was interesting because of the MAGA movement and the number of Republicans who ended up winning.
And Rich, go ahead. And I'm going to read some of them when you had off. Now, Rich is on top statewide news stories. And, of course, months-long delay passing the state budget. It went on and on and on. It was finally passed.
Yeah.
And, of course, every one of our local legislators here voted
against it.
And that's Charity Grimm, that's Bud Cook, that's Ryan Warner, and I do believe Pat Stefano, and I could be wrong on that.
Yeah,
he may have voted yes in the Senate, but I know our three House legislators voted against. And of course, the other one, the attack on Judge Shapiro's home,
in the family
targeted. That
with
was
the arson.
Yeah, the arson. And thank God nobody was killed in that. And also. And I just don't want to be redundant. You had down can't stop the retention of Supreme Court justices. So everybody went out and did their work. There was a tremendous amount of money spent, and it goes to show you that I think some of the people were confused, and I say that because in Westmoreland County, there's 30 more registered Republicans and then Democrats, and they voted to retain the
judges.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then, of course, the top, Doc, you have in front of you the top national news story. And mine made a little different riches, but go right ahead, Doc.
Well, of course, on that, the President Trump seemingly his health decline. The specialists that are the watchdogs over the whole government, any little thing they can expand, we have to be really careful about what the true impact is and give things time to clear out.
I mean, Doc, your medical career, how many hands do you have to shake to have bruises?
Yeah, but you can't see one thing and start making an elaborate mental diagnosis on just a peekaboo that you have from these brief radio interviews. Of course, we have 3 or 4 a day with him.
Look at his address on Christmas Eve.
Right.
I mean,
I mean, you know he has some health issues, mental issues.
The mental issues are, does he really understand the difficulty of going grocery shopping? You know, and he knows that's on the mind, but he just doesn't get a handle on it, and he's not with it. And Trump and tariffs.
Tariffs.
Experts.
His favorite word.
He doesn't understand how they work.
And no matter how many times he tries to explain it that somebody else is paying a tariff, it's the consumers here in the U.S. that are paying it.
Yes.
And then, Rich, go right ahead. This was a big one. Immediately, everybody knew this. And Project 2025 was
Elon Musk
and
Doge.
Doge. And how many people were laid off?
Yeah, and they ended up bringing back some of the people who were laid off because the government couldn't operate.
Now, here's the one that really irritates me, and this was one of the other top ones. ICE invades American cities.
Yeah. And the ruling this week, and I've mentioned before on programs, people in Chicago weren't going to put up with this. And the Supreme Court said, nope, you can't do it. You can't put the National Guard in the city.
Doing police work. Basically police work.
Yeah, in D.C. they were out picking up trash.
And in the past 24 hours, they said Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah, send them home.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
And it's
go
the word.
home, go home and be home with the families over the holiday.
And the other one here, the Supreme Court gives President more powers as Trump tears down institutions.
Yeah, that to me is one of the more disturbing ones. I mean, he went after law firms, he went after universities, he went after private corporations,
Comedians.
cities, and
He's trying to look what he did to Jimmy Kimmel, right? Put him back on, more popular now. Colbert,
Yes.
more popular, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
yeah.
But it was some of the giants that crumped under that and
Right.
were intimidated by the possible threat that he threw out. All
Couldn't
of
take
them.
the heat from a comedian.
The finest, biggest, most powerful law firms in the country, and then the universities, not the little universities, but the biggest and best we have, didn't stand up to him.
Yeah, you know, in the law firms, I mean, some of those law firms that he mentioned that he went after, and essentially it was just like, if you don't do this, like, I'm putting you
Right.
out of business.
Yes.
Like your associates or people who work on your law firm can't represent the government.
Amazing.
It is. And then locals, here's one here. A local newsmaker of 2025, and we added it. And the last one, Doc, you doesn't have it on yours, but let me tell you who it is.
Okay.
Is we have a congressman. Nobody's seen him. Guy. But you know what? He's going to run for office here in 2026. Well, maybe Guy, a petition will be going around here. So before you put your signature on Guy's petition, right?
Bye-bye, guy.
Bye, Guy. So nobody's
Doc,
seen him, am I right?
Doc.
Bye, Guy. Serious. Now think about it. We got a congressman.
Bye-bye,
I think
Guy.
this will be
That's
his
all we need.
completion of his fifth term, 10 years. We haven't seen him in the county.
Well, we should at least say bye-bye. Yes.
And we got a good candidate
Yeah,
running against him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, we'll have on the show, right?
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. And then I still remember, like it was yesterday, when unfortunately the bridge collapsed in Baltimore. Unfortunately, 5 people working on the bridge lost their lives when the cargo ship hit the bridge and it collapsed. And it was the same time the possibility of the bridge collapse, there was a possibility of a mine closing in Greene County, and because that coal was being shipped to Baltimore and shipped
Going to
from China, wherever it was going, and our guy was talking about naming an airport after current president, wouldn't pick up the phone and talk to anybody United Mine Workers. But he was too. That was his main topic. So, folks, just remember, Guy. How'd you say that, Doc? Guy.
Bye-bye, Guy.
Bye, Guy. That's one. I'm Rich. I know you have something else on local.
I don't know. Where should we start?
Well, you start wherever you want.
John Marietta.
Well, we'll be on here for all day if we talk about all the shenanigans with the recorder of deeds. And we had a great candidate ran against him.
Yeah. You know what? Myself and this program has gone after John on a number of issues.
Not personal,
It's
but
not
on
personal.
issues.
Never, ever personal. but it's just like he got a lot of ink this year. He got a lot of airtime, and he got a lot of social media time. So he has to rank up there on my list as like the top newsmaker of 2025 in Fayette County.
The other one, too, that came out late, we had a good candidate, and Timmy Mahoney's son that ran for township supervisor, and we still don't know where it's at. I know there was a recent mailer that I received, township supervisors buying Uniontown Country Club. So we're going to see where this all pans out in 2026. But that was one of the other news stories here. And, of course, the one and only...
Well, the Fayette County Commissioners, they got attacked a lot this year. I mean,
absolutely.
Dave Lord resigned, and he's got a replacement with Dutch, and they've had a lot to deal with, a lot of attacks on them about buying buildings and wasteful spending and all of that.
They caught hell for raising taxes. Just look what they're doing in Allegheny County. All the counties are raising taxes.
Yeah. And this year they said there's no tax increase, Doc, and they're still catching hell.
Yes, but that's why I wanted the compliments on that third of the page listed as commentary. Fayette County needs a place for secondary education. We have the place. We need an institution to supply the professors and all that it takes. Right?
And the other one, my biggest pet peeve, and she knows, and I'm going to call her out. She went to Harrisburg not to make friends. Now, how are you going to get some help about Penn State? I know she came out because she's a graduate of Penn State. But here's the thing. The budget was delayed. We got all our local legislators who's voting no, no, and no. And you want to know why. You can't get anything coming back here. But you can rest assured when Joe was on last week, and Joe was a township supervisor for 30 years, how important grants are, how you reach across, regardless as a Democrat or Republican, how you bring back money back into your township. And if you continue to vote no, 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 and you're going to come to me now for some help, why should I help you?
I mean, last week I brought up, when Joe and I and Doc were talking, the idea of not making friends.
Right.
Okay. But, I spent some time talking to county and local elected officials, Charity Grim Cooper is our congressperson in Harrisburg. What has she done? And I continuously heard is like, what action has she brought into Fayette County other than grant money?
Name a bill that she proposed. Yeah. When it passed the House.
But, good.
And that's the rest of the local legislators here. Bud Cook and Ryan Warner.
Good on social media. They want their photos taken, plastered all over their personal Facebook pages. That's all well and good. And then they get grant money. Okay, then they're going to say, okay, grant money is tax money, but they say like, hey, we brought all this grant money in to Fayette County and Westmoreland County and Greene County or wherever,
and they voted no.
And what did they have anything to do with writing the grants and supporting the grants?
And the other thing too, when you see your local legislators, they got a hefty increase. They're I do believe I think the second highest paid legislators in the country.
Yes.
I think behind New York and California.
Yeah.
And when you see them, if they'll talk to you, ask them why they wouldn't increase the minimum wage here in Pennsylvania. Think about that. You're getting $113,000. You get an increase. You'll get one next year, another $3
automatic
increase. And lo and behold, explain why you're voting against the minimum wage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I brought up the story about the Amtrak executives, the board of Amtrak. They declined to accept a pay raise, and they were giving their cumulative pay raises out to the rank and file of Amtrak employees. To me, that's good. Now, when I was a newspaper reporter and I worked in public relations, every end of the year, I got sat down by the president of the company or my supervisors, like, okay, you got to do your annual review. And you do, and it's like, here's what you did well, here's what we think you could do a little bit better. And if I got a pay increase, it was based on that. These guys are getting it automatically. There is no review.
And I have no problem our legislators making X amount of dollars. I've been a union rep. I've supported organized labor my whole life. I know what organized labor has done for me personally and my family, starting with my dad with the United Mine Workers when they fought so hard just to get a decent pay increase. And then, of course, when he finally passed legislation through MSHA and black lung legislation, you work and all the ill effects from working in a mine or any other industrial facility. But at least when you go there, bring something back or come back and report what you've done. Yeah. Just, arbitrarily because the Democrat or the governor, there got to be something we can agree on here to make the constituents and the residents of Fayette County better. Prime example, a data center. Well, if you support a data center, where is our local legislators here? Yes, it's in Greene County, but you got a lot of employees who are going to be working there. You have an opportunity. We have one here, and that's why it's so important, especially for the trade unions. These companies are coming in, sitting down with the trade unions. They're going to get the best of the best workers here to work on them. We have one started up in Homer City, the city council in Springdale, which is right off the Allegheny River. They voted to put a data center in. So this is what we're dealing with, and they're being built constantly around the country. And I understand people are going to object to anything being built, but come out and support your local trades. And I think once you sit down and listen to both sides, it's good for everybody.
Yeah, and these data centers are going to take up a huge amount of electricity, huge amounts, and we've heard this year people didn't want solar panels, farms in their areas.
Right.
Now, I can understand it not having right next to residential areas. I'm sympathetic to that. But, when Trump comes out and he says like, putting all the windmill farms off the East Coast, they can't operate anymore, because he says they look ugly, they kill birds, and come on, we need electricity.
And the ones that are being built, they are supplying electric for that facility.
Yeah.
That facility, they're not using
a lot of
grid.
them. Yeah.
So that's some of the things: local news, statewide news, national news, and of course, countywide news. So we had a busy 2025, and 6 more days, as they say in Wake Up, will be 2026. Speaking of that, Christmas time, I went to a service with my daughter and her husband and my nephew, my grandson, I should say. And the minister brought up something that kind of hit home to me. And I promise I won't get emotional. TJ, what we got, about 19 minutes left?
Yeah. We do. We actually have a call.
Okay, we're going to hold that call for a second.
Ahead.
And he brought something about Christmas. And over the years, as I get a little older and get more sentimental, I remember when I got a letter from my mother at Christmas time. Well, actually, probably got it after Christmas, and I know exactly where I was in Vietnam when I got the letter. And that's, and I'm thinking, and my dad never sent me a letter. He always sent his love. But that letter from your mother, when you open that card up, thinking I'd never see Fayette County again. Well, I made it back, obviously. I wouldn't be here. But that's some of the things that he brought up that really hit me here at Christmas Eve. TJ, we got a caller on the line?
We do.
Let's see what we got.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
Hi, Mark from Connellsville. Hey, them windmills out in front of New half mile out there,
off the East Coast,
They block radar, and if there's low-flying drones coming towards New York, they can't see them because of the windmills. it cancels out the radar.
Yeah, that was the national security issue that has been brought up about the windmills.
Yeah, I don't know so much about birds or how much electricity they say. They do catch on fire once in a while. I don't know about that.
Yeah, but
Another thing, like Jimmy Kimmel, like, what would he do without Donald Trump? Like, you know.
What would
I mean,
Donald Trump do without Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then basically, I do know that he gave the military $1,776 before Christmas Day.
You think he did it out of kindness of his heart?
No.
I don't really know. I don't really know.
The more important thing is he claimed that money was coming out of tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
No,
and they come out with like
that money was coming out of money that was set aside under the tax bill for veterans and housing. That's where the money came from. It's not tariff money.
But then also an incentive to get the illegal alien, or they were giving them $3,000 until December 25th to go back.
Yeah,
and to apply legally and come back upon having a good record coming back to our country and providing, which most of them were very good. And, they need to get them back to take care of like plantations and doing good hard work, which American kids these days rather get stubby fingers playing with their cell phones and, everything. And I don't know if you've heard the latest Democratic approval rate was 18%. And that was established about 2 weeks ago. Although things haven't really shown, affordable people.
Well, what was the Republicans, Mark, since you knew the Democrats?
Well,
it was, 18.
Yeah, they're pretty bad,
No, I meant, Mark, how did you know it was 18%? You didn't look what the Republican was?
Well, I think, Mark, I think the 18% was overall.
It was 82% approval. Now, because we're drilling and getting cheap gas and we're stopping wars and all that and illegal drugs.
Wait a minute.
What war?
Wait a minute. What are we stopping war? he's in Venezuela and he bombed Nigeria.
The war on kids overdosing in America, like fentanyl and cocaine.
Okay. Fentanyl's not coming out of Venezuela.
Venezuela, China, Venezuela, through Iran, we're stopping all the.
Hey, Mark, you bring up some points. What was the war he was going to stop day one? Wonder why that hasn't stopped.
Well, he's still working on Ukraine.
Oh, wait a minute. That was day one. Remember? One phone call, Mark. That's what we ran on. One phone call.
But he was working on it, but he didn't say it was going to be completed.
Wait a minute.
Now,
he could end it with a phone call. Evidently, that phone call hasn't worked yet, right?
But he hasn't stopped. He's still making phone calls, and they're very close.
And they're still killing people.
Well, that's, yet to be seen, but,
That's very unfortunate, and it need not happen. But it seems more and more that President Trump is siding with Russia on the terms of an agreement with Ukraine.
Well, Putin, he won't listen to any, and Putin wants everything his way. But, he is slowly losing North Koreans fighting the war because all his soldiers died off and all their equipment and military stuff is depleting, and the country and the people are not being told that things are grim and they can't even use
their
their
Mark, during this conversation, I would say that you approve of Donald Trump's behavior here in 2025?
Yeah, and there's been a record amount of younger kids going to church now and studying the Bible.
Well, they're studying the Bible. You think he studies the Bible, follows the Bible? Donald Trump, you truly believe that, Mark?
Because of Charlie Kirk, and then when he got shot,
all of a sudden he's seen the light. Is that what you're telling me?
Hey, listen to Charlie Kirk incident. That's horrible. It should never ever happen. There's no room in this country for political violence.
Yeah, and then.
Well, Mark, what we're going to do, we appreciate the call. We wish you a belated Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We're going to grab another call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Here we go. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
Yeah. I'm just wondering why you're letting that guy on the radio
Don't let him
when
talk.
there's a lot of good Democrats want to call.
Well, you jump right in there and tell us, Joe.
Yeah, we encourage calls from everybody. Unlike some
Well,
other
that goes to show you the Democrats are fair people.
unlike some other programs.
Try to call John Marietta, see what you get.
You
He
won't
doesn't
get it.
take calls, does he?
Nope, you're absolutely correct. That's
And I'd like to know on the John Marietta thing, when he took the money that was allotted to him through money given to his office or spent in his office, he gets his share of that money to spend on certain things, none of which are hunting targets that he had made up with his name, John Marietta, Register of Wills or wherever the hell he is. Yeah, no.
Recorder of deeds.
recorder. deed.
Recorder of deeds. But he used that money to spend. What? And there was an investigation. Where the hell, where's that investigation at? He misspent public funds,
That's what
and
he.
nothing's happening.
Well, we don't know
I
for
think
sure,
the Ethics
Joe.
Commission ought to get him, and I think the Attorney General ought to get him. But the Attorney General, of course, he's a Republican. Maybe he won't get him.
Yeah.
But I think the commissioners need to find out, put the pressure on those people to find out what the hell's going on here. I mean, he spent public funds, and that's not the only thing that we hear that he spent public funds on.
Well, look what it
Yet
cost the
there's
county
people-
on the vote recount.
Absolutely. And people turn around and vote for this guy. He starts, he starts every show out with a prayer.
That's fine
And
with
to me,
That's fine.
No, that's phony. Because he's starting out with a prayer, but he supports the guy who supported Madoff or whatever his name was that took advantage of all of those girls.
Epstein.
He still thinks Trump is the most wonderful guy in the world. Trump, remember when Trump said, you grab him by the dental,
Yeah.
Right.
all the things that he's done. He's a convicted felon. When you put a felon in charge, what's he going to do? He's going to steal from you.
Yeah.
His family has made more money since the first of the year. It's obscene, the money they made, and he comes out with these different executive orders that are going to help him down the road when he's out of office.
Joe,
Why don't people see? Can't people open their darn eyes and see this stuff?
Joe-
It makes me want to puke.
Well, I agree with you, especially, right here at Christmas, what he said Christmas Eve, what he said Christmas Day. It can continue to belittle people. There's
Well,
nothing he hasn't said
that's
which
right.
should shock us, but yet, where are the so-called Christians who truly
Well-
believe in the right way in this country, and yet they give him a free pass? Say what you want to, do what you want to, we'll still support you.
And what local Republican has come out against him, criticizing him with Epstein? I haven't heard one.
No, they won't. When we were on the campaign trail, Huck, we went and talked to an affluent businessman, and he liked everything you said. He liked the fact that you were in Vietnam. He liked this. He liked that. And then we said, "Can we get a vote from you?" He says, "No, I don't vote for a Democrat."
Hey, it was like I said last week. Last week on the program, for the Salvation Army and the Red Kettle, every time I saw one, I gave $1 or put a $5 in it, and I started a conversation with the one guy. I said, "Hey, how are things going?" And he said, "Well, for the most part, okay." But he said, well, he gets some disparaging remarks. I said, like what? And he said, "Oh, you darn liberals, you're giving to the you're giving."
Yeah.
Well, Joe,
we pointed out last week what the liberals have done, what the
Right.
Democrats
Yeah.
and the unions supported by the Democrats have done for the average working guy. So, but my wrath wasn't pointed at old-time Republicans. That's their choice to be. my wrath was pointed at these Democrats, who were Democrats, changed to the Republican Party. When you talk to one of them, they can't name not one darn thing that they ever did for them. They get into the social issues, the abortion,
border,
those
the
reasons,
transgender.
All the woke issues. All the woke issues.
That's more important to them. Yet you wait and see what happens when hospitals start to close because Medicaid was cut.
Yep.
When people when they start losing their benefits. You know,
well, Joe,
if you have a kid, I could go on and on. Maybe you just better shut me up.
No, I don't know if you listened to me get in the show, because when I was with a dear friend of mine at Allegheny General, I did listen to the show because I had my iPad with me. But no, you brought up is elected township supervisor. You were elected by the constituents that were all Democrats, they were Republicans, independent. They knew what you did to bring anything back into Manila Township. And that's our whole point with our local legislators, with Charity, with Ryan, with Pat. If you go there not to make friends, but yet you want to take credit for something you should be doing, you should be getting every dollar you could to come back to the community.
Well, you know, also, I got a bone to pick with some township supervisors. All of a sudden, they think they have to be Republicans. You got one in South Union that was a Democrat for 36 years or something.
Yeah.
They look at the numbers. Oh, there's more Republicans than Democrats. I better change. Forget about who put them in office, who got them there, and things that were done in the Democrats' name under their tutelage. Now all of a sudden they're going to be Republicans.
Now just look at,
and I understand what they're doing. Some of them are doing. That's maybe the only way they can get reelected. But you know what? If you do your job, and you do it right, I don't care what you are. You're going to get reelected.
Well, here's the thing too. When we brought up the consolidation, what's going on now with Uniontown, Laurel Highlands, probably all the school districts. You have people on there are just not Democrats, there's Republicans. They're going to make tough decisions.
School board directors.
You know, so now everybody's going to look at it.
I got an opinion there too. I guess I got an opinion on everything.
Well, we all do, right?
You couldn't pay me enough to be a school board director.
But my whole point, they were elected here. Majority of the school boards here are a Republican, but they got to make decisions.
How many school board members? I know so many school board members over the years, and they would all come to me for support. And first thing I would say, well, why do you want to be on a school board? I want to make it better, and blah, blah. So as soon as they get on there, their cousin gets a job, their kid gets a job. They invent jobs for kids or for relatives. Yeah. It's laughable. There's some good guys there, some good women on this.
Well, Joe, we got one more while you're on air. We got 4 minutes, and one thing we left out here today, we got the top local news story, the top statewide news story, the national news story, local newsmaker of the year, and we got down here, fell in the cracks, producer of the year.
Our radio producer.
So TJ, you're our local producer of the year.
We're giving you the credit.
We're giving you the credit.
We don't have a trophy. We don't have a gift certificate, but we're giving you the on-air credit.
I'll take that.
And guess what? He got on there right away. The first thing he said was, "Hey, Joe, now you can't swear." That's a good producer.
Well, he did tell me that when I walked in. I said, "Well, Joe's out there finding that deer he couldn't find for 20." That was the other thing.
Again,
$100 a year. It goes out to Joe Petrucci.
Yeah. You need to get rid of. How can you get rid of Justin Timberlake?
Hey, but Justin is taking care of TJ and I for New Year's.
Well, we're going to let you go, Joe. It's always a pleasure. And again,
see, you're hanging up.
Yeah,
on
we
me.
got about 2 minutes, and we want to wrap it up.
Wrap it up, buddy.
We're going to wrap it up. Well, Doc, Rich, it's hard to believe we come back next Friday. It'll be 2026, and it'll be another campaign. Primaries in May. Petitions will be going out in February.
What do you think is going to be top story next year.
Josh Shapiro running for governor. Besides that,
No, midterm elections.
oh yeah, midterm elections, and we're going to see if it's a proven fact. When the Democrats were in, Republicans took over, and it'll be the same way. I don't see the Republicans changing. Health care is going to be a big issue.
Affordability.
Right, affordability. I mean, here you think about it. They've been I can't think how many years the Affordable Health Care Act. Now they still haven't come up with one, right?
They have a concept.
They have a concept in all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, TJ, thanks for keeping the show going in 2025. We'll bring your trophy in next week.
I'm expecting it.
It won't be Pitt, but it will be appropriate.
That's okay.
All right, here we got 1 minute. No, less than a minute. Starting with you. Pitt tomorrow, bowl game, winner.
They're going to win.
Rich, quick.
Pitt.
Doc.
Yes.
Don't ask me about Steelers.
All right, Steelers.
No.
All right, Rich is.
Last 2 weeks I've gone against the Steelers and they won, so I'm going to stick with it.
All right, in that case, we'll go along with that. And again, thanks, everybody. We'll be back. Happy New Year. Be careful. Enjoy yourself. And we'll be back on the Democratic Hour next Friday.
You have been listening to the Democratic Radio Hour, heard every Friday at 3:15, right here on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
We have showers and 47 right now, and our low tonight will be 38. The rain ending this evening, and we'll have more on the weather coming up in just a bit. You're listening to WMBS Uniontown, and it is 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Steel.